How many friends are you connected with right now? Hundreds of followers, dozens of chat rooms in your messenger. But something is strange. Even though we are connected like this, why are we so lonely? Every day, we swipe through hundreds of posts and look into people's daily lives. But let's ask honestly, are we truly seeing those people? Or are we just cherry-picking what fits our taste to hit, like, and scrolling down to erase what differs from our thoughts? The algorithm constantly shows us people similar to us, thoughts similar to us, and a world similar to us. We are gradually becoming trapped inside a giant room of mirrors. No matter which way we look, all we see is our own clone. But today, a philosopher completely overturns 2,500 years of Western philosophy and speaks to us. That being you call the other, you have never once truly seen them. His name is Emmanuel Levinas. From this moment on, we step into that uncomfortable truth. From Socrates to Hegel, there is a question that Western philosophy has relentlessly thrown for 2,500 years. What is it? At first glance, this question seems harmless. However, Levinas accuses this very question of hiding a terrifying violence within it. The impulse to force all the strange things of the world into the framework of my logic and knowledge, to name them, classify them, and dominate them. Levinas called this totality. It is a way of thinking that prisons everything within a single, giant system. If you think this is a mere philosophical debate, please stop for a moment. Levinas was a Jew. He survived a Nazi concentration camp during World War II, but most of his family did not. The Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazis. It was no accident. It was the inevitable result born from the logic of totality, which defined the existence of Jews through the framework of their own ideology and sought to eliminate any existence that did not fit inside that frame. Does this sound like a grand, distant story? But today, we also repeat this every single day. That person is just that type. People from that place are all like that. Every label, every prejudice, every category we slap onto others. That is precisely the totality of everyday life. Here, Levinas throws a stunning plot twist. All the knowledge, experience, and empathy you have built up so far. What would you do if there were a realm that could never be grasped by all of those? Levinas brings up the concept of infinity. The true other is an existence that can never be completely grasped, no matter how much we study, converse, or love them. The other always exceeds the sum total of my experiences. The moment we feel we know everything about someone, we are already looking at the image of that person I created, not the actual person. Think about it. A friend of 10 years or a spouse of decades sometimes takes us to a completely unfamiliar place. That is the very evidence of the infinity possessed by the other. If so, what is the other? The other is a being that creates a crack in the wall of the selfish world I have safely built. They are truly the other precisely because they are unfamiliar, uncomfortable, and unpredictable to a degree I can hardly handle. The light filtering through that crack. Levinas tells us not to be afraid of it. What I am about to tell you now is the most important part of this video. I hope we can take it slow and think about it together. The face visage that Levinas speaks of. This is not the appearance of facial features. It is not eye color, age, or occupation. It is the very existence of the other standing before me at this exact moment, in the most vulnerable state. The slumped shoulders of a homeless person. The fearful gaze of a stranger. The exhausted expression of a passerby encountered on the street. That vulnerability is precisely the face. And that face speaks. Without language, without sound. Do not hurt me. Do not leave me to starve. Levinas states that the moment a human faces this face, they shatter ontologically not because of laws or contracts. They are overwhelmed. And within that overwhelmed state, they finally feel an infinite responsibility. This is the birth of ethics, the first philosophy proclaimed by Levinas. We do not refrain from murder because a law exists. It is because, in front of that face, we simply cannot bring ourselves to do it. Levinas's philosophy is not a story told upon a high mountain peak. It is a story about what we can do right now, starting from this very moment today. Try stepping out of the world recommended by the algorithm for a moment. Try pausing your scroll in front of the writings of someone who thinks differently from you. Take one more look at the face of someone you might have passed by thoughtlessly. Before defining them as a certain kind, try standing before them for a moment. Sartre once said, "Hell is other people." Levinas responds like this: the reason the other feels like hell is because we measure them by our own standards and forcefully fit them into our own world. However, the moment we stop that measuring, the other becomes something other than hell. The other is the only key that has come to rescue me, trapped inside the narrow prison of selfishness. Shatter the mirror and step out. Look at the face standing right in front of you. That is the beginning of what makes us human.